Good afternoon. Today, very happy to welcome actress and model Claire Llewellyn. This is correct? Okay, I
That's
pronounce it
true.
correct.
Mhm.
Yes. How are you, Claire? Thank you very much for accepting to join the live.
Thank you, Sherif. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I want to ask you first. Let's begin about your interest into the arts. How did it start, and what did you study? How you became a professional model and actress?
Okay. One, I wouldn't really describe myself as a model. Um, I take some photos now and again when I come across a photographer who's willing, but I'm just
Yes.
um, I started out not being an actress. I started out in music in my teens, and going back further, I got no formal training or education. Um, I used to like my favorite subject in school was English, and we were taught
Yes.
traditional rhyming scheme poetry from a very young age, and encouraged to create that way. Simple things that small kids do, Christmas cards, etc., etc. And I really enjoyed that. And we were brought up on the likes of Roald Dahl. He did a lot of comical children's poetry, which could be a little twisted in places. He's obviously known for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, BFG, Matilda, and other darker adult stuff as well. Um, so
Yes.
going off of that, I got into music. Then I was in the choir at school, primary school, and my father was a bass player in his youth. Um, so I got the bug for music, and when I was in my teens, decided I would form my own band, uh, having trained in somewhat trained, actually, done music education at school. I played the keyboards, and I had vocal lessons. Um, so I started my own band, and I was initially my first band. I was a keyboard player, but wasn't too keen on that. Decided to then focus on vocals. My first band of my own, I was the lead vocals, and I recruited the rest of the band. And I did that for a few years. We had a few gigs. That was a lot of fun. I wrote all the lyrics, and we also did some cover tunes. Um, so that was my focus creatively when I was in the UK. And then I met a musician online, lived in the States. I moved over here in 2004. Over here, sorry. Currently, I'm in the UK visiting family, but I live in Chicago in the States. Um, Moved over to Illinois in
Yes.
2004 and continued with the music. I had a band in the Illinois called Absinthe Kiss for a while. But then I progressed into following a dream of acting. Um, I did drama school as one of my elective um, subjects at school, but decided to change that for a different creative path or technical drawing because at that time I wasn't confident enough with pretending to be a tree and all the other kids who were more outgoing than I was. I was very shy and introverted, so it wasn't for me at that time. And I think what I really liked about acting, though, was the pretending to be somebody else. That was the appeal. Um, but yeah, music took over, and then I decided to revisit it much later, um, in my early 30s when I was in the States then, and got involved with some independent projects and discovered that I could use my writing talents and storytelling to make my own movies. So then created my own production company, which is now called Bloody Brick Productions, and I've made several movies, a few shorts. My first one was Conscience, and then Director's Cut, and the last one was Hobo with a Trash Can, which is an independent, no budget anthology. I got another 6 directors involved to contribute short pieces and pieced it all together. It was a very interesting project, and it's unique in the way that how I set it up to be a cohesive feature film rather than just shorts paced together that don't have any interaction. My hobo character, when he collects certain items of trash, goes into flashback, and so each segment of the film, directed by another different director, is involved around that item of trash. It's separate stories related to that item. So I gave each director their trash item to write their story around, and also $1 budget. So it really truly is a no budget affair, and so it was very interesting working with other creatives, and everybody's process is different. But it meant that we could actually get something out there distributed, because a feature is easier to distribute than shorts. It took a few years, but we are now under a label. We are now distributed by Trionic Entertainment, and currently on Tubi TV, which is a free streaming platform, which gives the creators a profit cut, a revenue stream. It's better than nothing. It gets it out there. So we're not, as it was a no budget production, we're not we're not in debt. We've made our money back on the project, which is a good thing and a hard thing to do with movies of any budget, really. So I would chalk that up as a success.
But about your company, I can assume from its name that you would like to produce genre horror films. This is correct?
Yeah, my favorite genre is horror and dark subject matter, whether it be comical or on black comedy. It's always good to put an element of humor to break up any serious drama, and you'll find a lot of serious content will have maybe a line or two in there, something that breaks up and relieves the tension. It's hi Keenan. So that's tried.
Hi Keenan, thank you for joining the live. I'm familiar with Toby, and I like their programming because they do put classic horror films from the 60s and the 70s, especially also not only American but European, especially the Italian giallo genre. And a lot of people are familiar with these films, maybe from the new generation, some critics, but it is a very nice film to discover, these makers, because their films help to bring up other filmmakers. At that time, it was the rise of genre filmmakers like Dario Argento, Mario Bava, and many who used to produce horror, giallo, film noir genre in Europe. And I would like to, but I'm happy that you succeeded to distribute Hobo with the Trash Can. And not a lot of anthology films are produced. The only one I can remember so far right now is I don't know if you've seen the series VHS.
Yeah.
It's very similar. They have many stories connected to sometimes it's really, sometimes it's not. But I saw the first one in Tribeca Festival, and I mean, in America, horror films, when you see them inside the film theater with, the fans and the young people, when the smell of the popcorn and cola, it's a different experience than watching at home. It was a very unique experience for me. But tell me right now, you told me you are based in Chicago now, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it, say Chicago, it is easy for you as an artist to get casting calls, production, I mean, collaboration, production like maybe New York, Los Angeles? Because my knowledge of Chicago is more of a filming location. What can you tell me about your experience there?
Chicago's a huge filmmaker market. There are a lot of independent
Mm-hmm.
filmmakers in Chicago, and you have
Mm-hmm.
two great schools, film schools, Columbia and DePaul.
Yes.
So there are a lot of film students in Chicago. They don't always stay in Chicago afterwards, but
Yes.
yeah, so there's a lot of student projects going on, and also a lot of regular indie filmmakers, whether they're schooled or not. Um, Illinois, in general, is very creative, and the Midwest are a lot of, especially indie horror. There's a big market out here for that. And then you also have all the professional studios in and around Chicago. So there's a lot of work for background artists, which is something
Yes.
that I've been doing for many years and have been on some really interesting projects. Um, it's obviously background roles, non-speaking parts. You've got to start somewhere, and it's a good in to the industry. You get to see how a professional production works. You get on a professional set. You learn things just by watching and taking notice and being observant, and you meet interesting people. And it's it's not exact. I wouldn't say it was exactly hard work being an extra. You've got to have patience though. It's a lot of sitting around and waiting, and it's not for everybody. Uh, I've been doing it for about
Yes.
15 years now, so I obviously enjoy it. Um, it's my favorite show to be on was the Exorcist TV series. I wish it had gotten better ratings, better reviews, and more better airplay. It had a very crummy time slot on a Friday night, like mid like 7 p.m. or something, which was not great for viewing that time slot. But it's you can still find it online. I'm sure it's still playing somewhere. But so that was that was fun. I was a nun, and I was in like 4 episodes, and got some got some good juicy parts in that.
Yeah. Yes. But it was produced for one season, correct? The Exhaust
They had two
series.
seasons. The second season, I think they were in Canada
Two
actually.
seasons.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. I heard the who produced the latest Halloween trilogy is they are a reimagining of the again. I read this somewhere. I don't know where. Also, maybe another Friday 13th. Also, they trying to, to bring back all of the the classic horrors again, reimagine for the new generation. But Claire, do you plan to do another to Hobo with the trash can?
A couple of people have asked me whether I'll do a sequel to that film, and the answer
Uh-huh.
is not likely. I have so many scripts on my slate, and I'm never going to be able to get to all of them. I would
Uh-huh.
prefer to hire a producer than myself to produce everything. Producing's hard work, and I don't really have the um, tenacity for it, I don't think. But I don't have the resources, which is the main thing.
Yes,
I'm quarter of a
of
way
course.
through my next feature script. having really only written short form content. So that's a challenge
Yes.
for me. So I have a ton of scripts on my
Yes.
pile, but none of them are finished. So I'm determined to at least finish one feature script, and the one I'm currently focusing on is set in modern day America, but it's called the Ripper
Yes.
Legacy. So it's based on the story
Uh-huh.
of Jack the Ripper, but in modern times. I can't say too much about it, but
Yes.
that's my
Great.
goal, to finish that script this winter. I usually get to a writing project over the winter break, and so
Yes.
see where we go with that, and hopefully find some producers. Hopefully get some funding for it. That's the main difficulty,
Yes.
is the funding. So
But I can see, Claire, recently you've been doing a lot of genre films, not only as a producer but also as an actress, and on
hmm
television as well, to get horror film casting. This is correct?
yeah, I'm involved in a couple of. Well, this year I've been seem to be getting roles as a therapist lately. So okay, I'll go with it. And I was in
Uh-huh.
a web series which is on a platform called Tonic TV. Aisha Fowler is the
Uh-huh.
writer director, and that's more of a drama than a genre content.
Yes.
Um, so I'm in a few episodes of that. I'm not sure if that's out on that platform yet, but it won't be too long. And then I was also, this year, I filmed a small part in a horror movie that will be coming out next year by Derek Rint, which is called The Creep of Crooked Creek. That's that's a mouthful. um, and then for next
Yes.
year, I've been cast as a therapist again in a movie by Jeff Kaczmarowski. I think I slaughtered his name there, but sorry, Jeff. Called With Child, and I will be
Yes.
in a couple of scenes with the lead, who is also a Brit, Laura Wilson. She'll be flying over from England to play the lead in that film. They're fundraising at the moment, and so looking forward to that. And while I'm on vacation here with my parents in the UK, I have an audition to bash out for another genre thriller that takes place um, out of state. But I'm not going to go into details on that because I haven't been cast yet. So I need to do the audition yet. So, but fingers crossed, because that will be a good role for me, and I'm hoping I bag that one.
Yes, maybe it's a Hammer film because he's producing films until now.
Yeah, Hammer Studios is has revived. They're back up and running, and that's kind of on my
Yes,
bucket list to work with them.
yes, yes, some recent production. Claire, I want to thank you very much for taking this time during your UK vacation to speak live. I wish you best on your upcoming projects. And look forward to attend the premiere of a new film of yours next year, maybe.
We'll see. Fingers crossed, maybe. I'm working on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sherif.
Thank you very much, Claire, and best wishes for the new year as well.
You too. Have a good holiday season, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.